Welcome to the Brisbane Truck Show for 2025. My name's Jacinta. I'm from Airtec Corporation, and I am here with the lovely Ann from Nolan's Interstate Transport. So, Ann, Nolan's is obviously quite a big business, but can you maybe explain a bit more for those who don't know what Nolan's is about and what your role is within the company?
So Nolan's operates up and down the eastern seaboard, and we specialise in moving fresh produce. So from farm to the delivery stores, so you can get your fresh salad.
And what's your role within the company?
So my role is mainly in the compliance department and specialising within the fleet and the compliance of the fleet and road access, and focusing especially on the over 100 PBS fleet that we have operational.
Yeah. So with the compliance side of things, what influenced you to get onboard math onto your fleet?
Because we are a PBS fleet and we operate at HML due to heavy produce, pumpkins, potatoes, whatever, it's all very heavy. So it was an operational requirement from the authorities. So even though we had other controls in place, it was just something that needed to go that next step, which helps us maximise each load.
Wonderful. And did you find any challenges outside of PBS and compliance that influenced your decision to get on board now?
Yes, I'd had a little bit of experience operating with the interim OBM, and I found that there was a lot of hidden costs in the background with a lot of the companies, and we found that when we researched Airtec, just with the customer service and the support and the actual progressive nature of the product and the company was what made it an easy choice so that we could future-proof the fleet.
And what did the role, so you said you had over 100 PBS vehicles needing onboard math. So what did that rollout process look for you guys implementing onboard math?
It was huge. And we tried to make a prioritised list. So each state had a different deadline, and picking the fleet that actually operated into the first deadline first. And we made a permanent booking with the installer each week. And then it was like scheduling a load, but scheduling for the install of the products.
And what kind of training helped you with the whole process as well?
So trying to understand the product and how it works. So you guys at Airtec were great coming over and actually training me how it all worked and how to actually troubleshoot. So that's been ongoing.
Yeah.
Lots of screenshots, emails, help. I need a magic fix. But no, it has been great. And so far we haven't had a problem that we haven't been able to solve. Yeah. So it's been good.
Excellent. That's what we love to hear. Did you find any challenges implementing onboard math with other technologies within your business, such as, your telematics or your logistics systems?
No, not at this stage. We haven't integrated it into our logistics program. It sits separate from that at this stage. But everything has been reasonably seamless. We have access to the data that we need in real time. The drivers have come on board and are getting used to the system. We've still got those few old people who like the old analog pull button. But yeah, they're coming on board and it's been really good. And once they realise that they have the information live sitting in the driver's seat, that's been one of the best things for them.
Oh, excellent. So when you say getting the drivers on board, have you noticed any changes in how they communicate with the compliance side or with the loaders, anything like that?
Yeah, there has been, because they can see that data live, they've been able to give detailed information to actually talk to the loaders or operations to work out a rework of the load to still maximise the load without leaving freight behind, but still remain compliant. So
Yeah,
that's been really valuable.
Definitely. Any other day-to-day value to the business that you've seen with it?
Well, a lot of it would be mainly empowering that driver to be able to make the right decision, especially when they're loading off farm or off site. So at our own sites, we've got weigh bridges available, but this means that you don't actually have to rely on the weigh bridge to know whether you're right or not. So,
yeah,
it's been really good.
Yeah.
It's probably saved a lot of time in reworking a load. So,
yeah. And have you noticed then any benefit when you say it saves time? Has it saved on maintenance costs or fines, any infringement notices, anything like that?
We haven't seen a huge shift with the actual fine side of things because we had weigh bridges and we have, I guess, how we load the products in our depots. That has been reasonably managed. So I would say there's probably been a slight decline at this stage because we're just adding that extra tool to try and make sure. So, but we were fairly on top of that, to start with. So,
like you said, it's just that extra safety barrier.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, and I guess too, we're probably 7 years down the track of PBS. So we sort of had to implement controls well and truly in place, prior to the OBM being a requirement from the authorities.
So being in PBS for 7 years, you've obviously seen a lot of changes.
Yes.
Where do you see the onboard math side of things in the next 3 to 5 years?
I would really love to see that the authorities and across the board and the industry have more acceptance and progression towards the higher productivity freight vehicles. There's this push to have less heavy vehicles on the road and more efficiency, but that needs to be supported, whether that be actual road access, operating conditions, and then availabilities into site, because we're still operating to a lot of sites that are well established for some of them over 100 years. And they were built to accommodate a rigid and a semi-trailer. Yeah. Then all of a sudden you're coming in with something that's twice as big.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's presents a few challenges.
Yeah. Excellent. And so from an Airtec side of things, is there anything that you would like to see us improve on?
Now, one thing that I would really like, and it's probably more the telematic side of things, is that you actually receive an alert for an overweight. So hopefully the drivers are onto that and actually dealing with that as it occurs, but then that's just your another secondary backup in the background, making that call and being able to see what's going on.
Yeah. We have had actually a few customers say the same thing. So again, in the next 3 to 5 years, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, thank you for your time today. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for visiting our stand. We're at 180 at the Brisbane Truck Show. But is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
No. Well, thank you. Working with Airtec has been absolutely great. And no challenge has been too big. So far we haven't been able to solve an issue that we've had. So it's been really good. And, overall, the feedback that I hear from other operators and whatever, we've probably been, I guess, one of the lucky ones in how our fleet have actually managed, been implemented and on the road.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we were talking last night and I said how Darren actually called me and he said, I don't want any mucking around. I want to buy them and install them. And I was like, yep, we can do it. Let's get this ball on the road. And we were at your office the next week.
Yeah.
So, and we started, like you said, the rollout of 100 PBS vehicles and took a few years, but we got there.
Yeah. And it's been really good and it's been effective. And, making the authorities happy as well.
Yeah.
And let's see where that goes.
It's win-win.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time, Ann.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.